My name is Neil Crawford. I joined Brown-Forman after graduating with an international MBA from the University of South Carolina. Now I work as a senior financial analyst as part of a finance rotational program where I rotate for 2 years through different groups at Brown-Forman, which gives me a broad range of experiences.
My name is LaWanda Page. I work in the Strategic Events Department here at Brown-Forman as a strategic events planner. And we plan meetings and events for all departments and divisions within Brown-Forman all over the world. So I've had the pleasure to not only plan meetings here in the U.S., but also in Europe, Canada, and Mexico as well.
A business information manager in the Midwest Division in the North American region. It's a finance-based role that provides data to the field sales personnel.
My name is Carla Bellamy, and I am the Associate Brand Manager for Southern Comfort. I'm responsible for all of the national promotions below the line.
I'm Dwight Haygood. I'm a senior attorney here at Brown-Forman, and I counsel the global production, the technology, and real estate teams.
I'm Latoya Smith, and I work in our Office of Diversity and Inclusion.
I decided to join Brown-Forman because of what you hear about the company in terms of it being a good place to work, the high value of the work, and it being a successful company. So if you look at kind of the qualities that Brown-Forman has as a company that's about, you know, a quality product, believing in its employees, and being a good community partner, all those things to me matched up well with what I desired to do in the next level with the company. And this just came along at a great time. So.
Well, what attracted me to Brown-Forman is, number one, I love the spirits industry. It's a very fun industry to work in. And then number two, Brown-Forman has great brands.
So the strength of the spirit industry and Brown-Forman's growth in particular were impressive to me. Also, in researching the company, I learned that Brown-Forman is actively expanding abroad. Before business school, I spent 10 years living in London, and global business has always been a passion of mine. So with global brands and then U.S. exposure, I really thought Brown-Forman was a perfect fit.
I was really interested in the position. I've been in the diversity field, and I was really excited to have the opportunity to come to Brown-Forman and really work with the employee resource groups. They were really kind of going into the next phase of their development, and that would be my primary responsibility. So that was really engaging.
When I joined Brown-Forman, the company was new, relatively new to international markets, and the position I came into was one supporting international personnel. So it was the opportunity to get international experience with a U.S. company.
I'm a native of Louisville, so I've always known the name, you know, Brown-Forman, and Brown-Forman is a well-respected company here within the Louisville community, and Brown-Forman does a lot for the community locally. And as a meeting planner, it's always really nice for me and gives me a sense of hometown pride when I do walk into different, you know, venues and events around the city, and I see the Brown-Forman name on, you know, Brown-Forman Hall or the Brown-Forman Pavilion. So it's just a sense of hometown pride for me. And then also the employees here do a lot. We volunteer over 20,000 hours of community service within the Louisville community.
I love the people, as many people will say. I love our culture, and I really love what I do. The job is really unique. A lot of companies don't have a true commitment to diversity and inclusion, and we do, and that makes a world of difference for the work that I do. So that's incredible.
The people, the family-oriented atmosphere, being a hometown kid, it's great to have a company that is so significant within its industry. Right here in Louisville, Kentucky.
I'd have to say the people and our culture. I genuinely get a sense that people here want to see me succeed in my role here, you know, with my career aspirations with Brown-Forman. So I plan on being here, you know, long term. And then just I've met some incredible folks around the world, you know, within my short tenure here.
Number one is the people. The people are, they reflect the company's values, the teamwork, that is promoted here, the fact that you have just a diverse group of colleagues. Everybody brings their own experiences, everybody brings their own kind of knowledge base, and to see that come together in an environment like this is, you have to say, is very unique. Many companies may claim that they actually foster that kind of environment. But to come here and actually see it in practice is just wonderful, and it was something that I'm glad to be a part of.
What I like most about working at Brown-Forman is three things: the people, the culture, the environment. It's extremely collaborative and collegial here at Brown-Forman. They make me feel like a very valued team member and a very valued employee here at Brown-Forman.
I enjoy working with loads of different people in different teams. With my rotational assignments, I've been able to lead projects in Baltimore, Maryland for the NAR finance team. I work directly for the director of Jack Daniels in our global Jack Daniels franchise, and currently I work in Treasury. These are totally different experiences within the Brown-Forman platform that shows Brown-Forman's commitment to developing young professionals.
Okay, I think Brown-Forman does a great job of educating, employees on what diversity and inclusion really means, and I feel that the company understands that our workforce needs to be a reflection of the communities that we serve in order to be successful in the global environment today. And I see that in our leadership and also, among various employees in their roles here within Brown-Forman.
Not only is Brown-Forman committed to acquiring young talent, but they also offer a lot of support systems to help us grow and develop once we get hired. So in addition to that, Brown-Forman has a formal and informal networking system. So senior professionals have taken me on board since I've joined, and I find that very helpful to minorities here.
In the area of diversity and inclusion, I think Brown-Forman has made some tremendous steps. Number one, with the hire of our diversity and inclusion officer, Ralph Deschabert, the launch of our 8 employee resource groups. I see more people of color being hired into Brown-Forman. There are more senior leaders of color at Brown-Forman. We now have our first African American who was just recently appointed to the board of directors here at Brown-Forman.
I think the diversity and inclusion efforts we've seen since hiring a chief diversity officer have been substantial. I think we continue to evolve as a corporation. I think the ERGs and other organizations, other partnerships we've had internally and externally continue to make us a better company.
I see it in individual people and seeing how people grow and how they're developing in their own diversity journey, and also how the company itself is taking shape systematically, the different procedures that are changing and our structures that are changing, and it's really moving further along to inclusive excellence. So that gives me a lot of encouragement.
I think that Brown-Forman has probably one of the greatest potential in terms of a company that could kind of promote diversity and inclusion, be the poster child for diversity and inclusion, and really be an ambassador for not only this community but for worldwide.